Antonio, 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 Antonio. Casey, what happened last night, dog?
Um,
What
the t
happened last
the
night?
t
You met people from like
the
Marseille. Like,
yeah,
yo, you saw Antonio
yeah.
create history. Like, what the
The,
yo?
the lads from Marseille were literally sat in front of me, and my brother was sat in front of me as well, and
Yeah,
he was sat next to them, and just that they got sort of like caught up in the atmosphere and all the rest of it, and they just seemed to bond with us. It's quite funny actually.
I
I mean,
love that. I love
their
that.
English wasn't perfect, as you might have seen in the interview that I did with them. I don't think that they all had. I think some were better than others, but I think their comprehension sometimes wasn't great of the question
I
that I
don't
was
think they
asking.
understood a word you were
But
saying.
no, they did, and their French is an awful lot better than my English.
Yeah,
Um, and they'll be there again on Saturdays. And I said to him, I said, "You're our good luck charm now, so you're going to have to
yeah, you
come
got
to
to
each
come to
game.
every home match
And
now.
when we lose, we'll kick you back off through the Eurostar sort of thing, little bit of
So
fun."
it was,
But
it was,
they're
it
very
was,
nice
it was
lads.
it was a big day yesterday because like Antonio created history. Like
Mm,
we won in like reasonable, like we won in like we won in a fashion that we're not used to. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's weird. This whole season is feeling comfortable, man. And it was a big day yesterday, but it's a big day today. And I got one man, like straight up, who's gonna come through. I think if I can get him in, I'm trying to get him in, but he's like, oh, there he is.
what
It's a
could
big
possibly
day
go
today
wrong?
because today, what's the date today, Gatesy?
And it's the 24th of August, and I know that because it's my 19th wedding anniversary.
Happy
And that's what we came here. That's
anniversary!
what we came here to celebrate. That's what we came here to celebrate.
Oh, thanks, guys. And I've
Big
got to
up
be honest with
yourself,
you.
Gatesy and
I'll
Princess
be
Di.
entirely honest, and I don't know how you feel, Milesy. I feel wiped out. I feel just totally like my energy has been dragged through the floor. I said to the missus, I said, I think it's that because we've had 18 months of not supporting football in that way. Do you know what I mean? It's one thing
Yeah,
watching it on the telly, but you don't. It's the whole day, isn't it? It's the travel to and from the match. It's meeting your mates for a beer. It's the
yeah,
walk to the stadium, the walk up the stand. Especially for me, you've seen where I sit.
yeah.
I've got my oxygen tank up there as well because the air's rather thin up there, and I say hello to the occasional pigeon. Um, and
But
obviously supporting the team.
You know how Antonio held up the thing like Save the Last Dance.
Mm,
Like, yo, it's your dance today, dog. It's your 19-year wedding anniversary, dog. It's your dance today, dog.
I know.
And then he goes,
It's
and
mad,
then
isn't
he
it?
goes,
19,
and
19
then
sorry,
years.
the missus was just trying to get me attention for something, and I've answered her
yo, big
question.
up
So
Princess Di. Big up
yeah,
Princess
she's
Di,
just here doing. Despite the fact it's our wedding anniversary, it's a normal day.
Are you
She's
are you
doing
going
all of
out for
the.
a meal?
Well, that's the plan at some point, but
what are you gonna have?
we'll see what happens. I'd like to go for an Italian. There's a nice. Well, I say
Oh,
nice.
yes,
I don't know, but
please.
it looks
Yes,
nice.
please.
There's a
There's
nice
a
pub called
restaurant.
the Bull as well.
There
I
is,
heard
there
I
is, and
heard
I
about
could
that,
do that.
Mozzie. I
I
heard about
could
that,
do
Mozzie.
that.
They do good food there, dog.
No, there's an Italian in town, and I've been meaning to check it out for a while. The slightly frustrating thing was we went there about a month ago, and it was shut, despite the
Oh,
fact it
fair
said
enough.
on their website that they were open. So I was like, oh well.
So you went
So
to the Bull after that.
Yes.
no, I wanted to get I wanted to get some Italian food specifically, and when I say Italian, I'm talking like from an Italian restaurant. So
Yeah.
we ended up going to Blue Water. Actually, I think we went past
Um,
the Bull on the way.
uh,
So
I thought you was
sorry,
going to say that's when you had to cook the pasta at home. You were trying to do the home
uh,
version.
spaghetti hoops in a can. That'd be about it for me.
Alphabet ones.
Yeah.
Alphabet hoops.
Spaghetti soup.
I'd serve it up to her and I'd sort of like arrange the letters to say, "Come on, you irons," just to really wind her up.
Yeah.
So Gatesy,
she's right there. She's right there looking at me. And
you go to an Italian restaurant. You kind of promised it to her now. You go to an Italian restaurant. What's your dish of choice? Like, what's your?
Oh.
No, you gotta
Good
take
question.
it out to the Italiano straight up, man.
I'm trying to remember what I had last time as a main.
The last time when I went to one, I had this like chicken.
I had the last time.
Chicken and bacon like pasta. It was lovely.
Oh, like a fettuccine Alfredo chicken kind of like. Yeah, I've had that too, Mafia. Dope.
I can't remember now. I can't even remember what I had the last time. I had a.
With pancetta on the top of it.
Yeah, I can't. To be honest, I can't remember. We went. It was like I say. Was it Ask Italian or Bella Italia? It was one of those.
With us.
Yeah, we had our daughter with us. So.
The problem is with me is I just fill it with too much cheese. I'm like, yeah, a bit more.
Me too.
Yes. Come around with the block of Parmesan, and they were like, and they turned around and said,
Porcino, any one of those, I'll go nuts on.
Grating it onto me food, and they were going, say when, and I went, oh, it's like that advert. I was like, I will keep going.
Yeah. I just let them keep going, and like then they do the black pepper, and their hands get sore. Like they just keep going and going and going. I'm like, yeah, keep it coming. 100%.
Yeah, no.
So has it been a good 19 years, dog? Like, bless up, man. That like train robbers got more time, like for robbing the train than you did for like getting married, dog. Fuck you.
Listen, any relationship, anyone that's been in a relationship for 19 years married, and we were together for 4 years before that.
Yeah.
Anyone else, there's ups and downs, and it's not an easy thing. But at the end of the day, you got to work at it, haven't you?
Did you get a Hippo card? Anniversary card.
I don't need you. Well, who invited you to Christ?
Look, we've made him laugh. That's all we want to do is just make him smile on his wedding anniversary.
I'm already smiling. Honestly. Yeah. You got home okay yesterday, Milesy? You're working from home today, are you?
Well, yeah, I woke up at 7:45 this morning.
Oh my days!
Yeah.
How you doing, Gazza? I hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, no, I've done that, and I rolled out of bed, and I was in my pants till about 9:30.
Okay. I mean, listen, if Zuma does have that medical, Gazza, the only thing is that I will sort of say is that I'm now at the stage with transfers that I'm just like, look, there's so many rumours out there that quite honestly, I'll believe it when it happens. I'm not saying that Daya's information on this is incorrect, but then again, in fairness to Daya, there's been a few bits of information he's been given of late, like that Milenkovic had signed, for example, and obviously that hasn't happened. He was given information that there was a striker that was on their way in on the Wednesday, a couple of weeks back. Medical has been booked. That didn't happen either. So I'm now at the stage where, look, if there's a rumour that comes out, if there's whispers that XYZ players coming in, I'm going to be, okay, I'm aware of the rumour, that's fine, but I'm not going to get too wrapped up in it and sort of excited until it's actually, they're there with the West Ham shirt being paraded at Rush Green or London Stadium. So we'll see.
It does sound like it has legs, though, Gatesy. It does sound like it does have legs.
Yeah, I mean, the clubs have agreed on a fee.
Yeah,
and all that's got to be decided is personal terms. And I mean, I was talking to someone, or I was in a group yesterday, and because obviously the figure of 125k has been bandied around. Yeah, and I'm looking at it from Kurt Zuma's point of view, and it's like, well, he doesn't want to leave Chelsea. He wants to stay in London. That's fine. But he's leaving a club that are the European champions, that qualify for the Champions League pretty much every season, and being asked to go to a team that have qualified for Europe but are lesser competition, but are not a club that are challenging for Europe historically every single season. Maybe we will going forwards, but I'm talking historically. We don't.
No, yeah,
And the other thing, and I heard a story about this a little while ago, is that they reckon that the reason that we have to kind of overpay for players is for one very simple reason: Rush Green. You know, you think about from Kurt Zuma's point of view, his place of work predominantly is Chelsea's Cobham training ground, which is absolutely a fantastic place to train and work and all the rest of it. You turn around to a player that's been in that environment for the last 6 years or however long he's been there, 8 years, whatever, and say, well, this is what you're coming to now. You're probably going to turn around and say, well, I'm not being funny, guys. You know, if this is the environment you're asking me to come to from what I've got at the minute, you got to make it worth my while.
No, I agree with you. It's almost like working in a state of the art suite to like then working in a caravan. Do you know what I mean? Like you're working in a state of the art suite, then you get moved to a caravan and you're getting the same pay, if not a little bit less. Is that I understand 100%.
Yeah. I mean, is he worth that as a player? I would say not. But I
he's
can
got
see
potential to be out. He's not peaked yet. I think him and Diop could be one of the best partnerships in the Premier League, in my opinion. Because no disrespect to him, this is probably his last season as the main man, and we've already got one likelihood replacement, and even them as a back three, I think that's terrifying. To be honest, that's lumps experience. Yeah. What toilet paper though, Peach? Andrex or?
Like one ply toilet paper. Yeah, Andrex, one ply toilet paper.
Sandpaper.
Yeah.
You know that toilet paper that you get in like Tesco's, like not the one you buy at Tesco's.
At school, it's got a primary school. What looks like at school, what looks like tracing paper.
Oh,
yes.
I would save it up till I went home.
Too. I know exactly. No.
I would save it up until I could just like no. I mean, our school bogs were sort of not the best, to be honest, at the best of times anyway, and that just capped it off. Sort of thing. No, I'll wait till I get home. I'll have a clear out before I go to school. I'll wait till I get home.
Yeah, I don't want to do art class while I'm having a shit.
Did you ever sort of get told when you was first year of secondary school? Did you ever get sort of like the big kids come to you, put their arm around you, and say, "Do you want to go and see the blue goldfish?"
No.
Oh,
did you never have that?
That's your head in the bulldog. That's your head in the bulldog.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I think I was bigger than
even huge clean film.
Yeah.
I was too small. I couldn't reach, so they didn't even bother me, dog. They didn't bother me.
At one point, I've stayed the same height since I was about 13, so I was probably one of the biggest in the school. So I don't think they tried it with me.
Yeah, they'd leave you alone.
So Charlie's wishing you a happy anniversary, and he's telling you
Thank
to
you
get
very
some
much, Charlie.
Atzobuco. Have you ever had atzobuco?
I haven't. What is this? Is this a dish or is this a
veal.
wine?
Yeah,
I've got to be honest, I'm not familiar.
It's veal. It's my dad, my father cooks it. Oh, it's beautiful. Italiano. It's atzobuco. It's lovely. It's like picture the most tenderest steak that you can have, but it's not beef, it's veal, but the meat just falls off the bone, and it's normally done in a red wine reduction kind of sauce. Oh, it's out of this world.
I'll see if it's on the menu, mate. If it is, then I'll give it a whirl. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
It's dynamite, mate. It is dynamite. It is absolutely dynamite. Hold on one second, my friend, because we got. Hold on. Yes, I think so. Oh, hello. Hello.
He's here.
Oh, hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Takeover. We're just waiting for the other one. We have a two now.
It's all for you, though, Gatesy, because it's your wedding anniversary. We're all here for you, man.
And Di, not just Gatesy.
Yeah, not just Gatesy. I mean, she's had to put up
What
with
is
him,
your
you
wedding
know what I mean?
anniversary too? No, it's Hippo Day. Come on, Mousy. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. Did you get a Hippo anniversary card?
Oh, Jesus.
Hippo anniversary.
Hippo anniversary. Wow. Rah, rah, rah.
I'll get my head put through the waste disposal unit.
Wow.
Oh, Duke, you are looking proper posh, my friend.
Thank you. I do try every now and again. You know what I mean?
Do you know who you remind me of? The bloke who does the Formula One. Who, when he walks down the strip, what's his name? He has the big microphone thing on and goes talking to him. On what's his name?
Was that Martin Brundle?
That's the one. Duke Grumble.
Duke Rumble. Boom. How you doing, my friend?
And it's lights out. Go.
I don't need to put up with this shit. Don't need to put up with this shit.
Have they not? Has the check not cleared then, Duke, from Peach?
I can quite easily go off people. You know what I mean? I really can.
It's lovely to see your face again, Duke.
Putting up with you, arsehole. I know, right? That's because I'm handsome. That's what it is.
Is that what you've been told?
You keep on.
Apparently.
That was your mum, wasn't it?
Apparently.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
At least she loves me.
That's all that counts.
You really?
We all love you, Duke. We
all love each other.
In the building.
In a manly sort of way. Let me just point that one out.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, mate.
I didn't see that. Gazza just said Vaz Tay was sitting in the crowd last night. So was Chesney Hawkes, and he
so was Chesney Hawkes. Yes,
was he?
Indeed.
Vaz Tay was on the pitch.
No.
Oh, was he?
Made my day.
They interviewed him.
Chesney's picture. That was superb.
That's the boy who does the intro for Russ. For DJ Russ and Beyond. Yeah.
Great song.
Anybody seen Vardy? No, I think he's still in Craig Dawson's back pocket, Gazza. Last I saw of him, I think I saw the soles of his boot out of Dawson's back pocket, but I didn't really see much of him last night.
I heard he had a party for one last night.
Listen, he set up their goal. he set up their goal. Let's not mess around. He was still an issue, and I think, and he's going to continue to be an issue this season for people. He's a good player, and I don't think that last night.
No, he's past it. He's past it.
Yeah.
I've done about past it.
No, I'm just in a wind-up mood today.
Oh, okay, go on. Yeah, that's it.
No.
That's unusual.
Did you know? Just want to say, world class. 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 games. Antonio, world class.
Oh wow, yeah.
Beast.
Yeah, what a man.
If only I had a bet on him this season.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it 40 to 1?
I wonder how many goals he needs for for a 40 to 1 this season. I might have a bet.
Who, Antonio? No, now both you are taking the piss. Really, you guys got a bet for Antonio or Ben Rama?
No, I ain't had a bet.
Oh. You guys are piss takers, guys. Strong, hardcore piss takers.
Yeah,
that's what we do best. That's what we do
Peach,
best.
I love you. I love you, Peach.
So it's just been confirmed, gentlemen. Gentlemen, it has just been confirmed.
Yeah.
Saturday. Breaking news. Saturday. Duke will be in the building at the London Stadium.
Brilliant.
Duke will be in the London Stadium. Oh no, Duke will be in the London Stadium, and
bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll be there Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
Good. You must be looking forward to it, mate. You must be looking forward to it because it's been a while, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, it's been too long, mate. To be honest with you,
yeah,
it's been too long.
Yeah.
I think the last West Ham game I went there was Oh shit! Macclesfield in the cup. That's how long ago it's been since I went to a game.
Shit!
And that was when Sanchez.
Dingana scored.
Dingana scored, and Sanchez done his knee. That was the last time I went to the stadium for football. Obviously, went back there for the Red Sox versus Yankees.
Check the group WhatsApp messages, guys. I've literally just sent something through to you. You might want to look at that because I've got tickets for it. So
I've been told I've got to behave myself on Saturday.
Imagine that, Antonio.
I'm only there till after the game. I've got a family party after that, so we need to get pissed before 3.
Well, as I say, I've just sent you a link. It's a free event.
Oh, mate, don't. I'm suffering today. Bad.
How many did you put back yesterday, Mousy? I'm scared to. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. So you know how Russ has. You know how Russ has, like, guess what sweet I have? Guess what crisps I have? Let's all guess how much drinks Mousy had yesterday. Because I'm thinking it's north of 5. It's definitely north of 10.
Oh, I've done 5 in the first hour I was there, Pete.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to go 12.
Yeah, hang on. So I got there about 4:30.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, you already know where this is going, don't you, dude? You already know
all I was drinking was gin and tonic and vodka and orange. And I think I probably had
started light.
I'd say that, and then we had 2 black Zambucas when we got back with our drinks. I'll probably say about 17 drinks last night.
Wow!
And I had a kebab as well when I got in.
Well,
me too.
I'll be honest with you, Malsey. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I went downstairs into the pub about 7:15, and I nipped over the shop and I picked up a big bottle of Estrella, 600 ml bottle of Estrella, and that went down quite easily because I'm only going to drink when I'm watching the football now. So that went down easily. I then did 12 bottles of Bud. And I did a 2-pint jug of Coors Light at a couple of West Ham fans that were in the pub watching the game with me.
I'll be back.
They bought me a drink.
Yeah, holy dude! Arnie. You had hold on. Go start over. You had the big bottle of what?
I had a big bottle of Estrella, which is the size of two normal ones. I had 12 bottles of Bud and 2 pints of Coors. So I had 15. So I was just under Milesy.
I'm telling you, I think because I know Gatesy can hang with all y'all on this, and I can hang with y'all too. But I think we all got hollow legs. Like, I don't think there's any bones or anything in our legs. I think they're just hollow because, like, we drink like fish, dog. Like, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I used to be able to drink more than I can now, though. I used to, be hammering it from Friday.
Woke up a bit ropey this morning.
Yeah.
Leave that up to me. If I'm the young buck, leave that up to me. Leave that up to me, boys. But no, you must be looking so forward. You must be looking so forward to going to the match, Duke and Gatesy. You had a beautiful day yesterday, despite like your oxygen tank, like being up like in the rafters. Like, you had a good day.
Yeah, well, you're going to have the posh seats, aren't you? Then, Duke, I've seen your view.
Yeah, I've been told to behave myself. Act like a gentleman. I've been told.
Yes,
so,
yes, no
that's
swearing.
going to be difficult.
Fuck off.
Take time off work. Naughty boy.
Cyan saying you're actually taking time off.
Where about you sitting?
I've got. The reason I'm in the monkey suit right now is I was trying it on. Joe's best friend is getting married tomorrow, so I've got a wedding. I've got a wedding and a wedding reception to go to tomorrow. So that's why all this has been tried on to make sure it all fits because it was delivered yesterday. So yeah, it was just a case of trying it all on and making sure it's good. So I've got tomorrow and Thursday off.
Nice.
So what I'll do is I'll go to the game on Saturday. Hopefully get there a bit earlier. Gatesy, you doing the those tickets? Are you doing the pre-match and post-match?
I've done it for both, so that way I've got the flexibility to, that if I go to one or the other, then whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll just book pre and post if I were you.
Yeah, I'm going to do both. I'm doing it now. So then I will come back to work in the evening. I won't get too.
Actually, are you going up there on your Todd? Am I going to meet you up there, or did you want to sort of like come with us?
Well, I was going to get Joe to drop me down.
Are you going to go Bluewater?
Ebbsfleet, and then and get that through from there. It's just a bit easier. Go that way, and then I'll meet you up there.
Okay.
Meet you boys, round by the canal, that bit there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I tell you what, it was quite nice.
11 a.m.
Sorry, what time?
11 a.m.
I tell you, we're going to fall out, you and me. I've got to go back to work.
That's what time I meet.
Yes, yeah.
Normally.
I've got to go back to work at some point.
So you can be there in person.
You've got to let the dog in.
I can't get too walled. All right.
Come on. Okay.
So whereabouts are you sitting though, Duke? Do you know where the seats are?
Yeah, I am actually, according to the lovely gentleman.
Yeah.
Literally right on halfway.
Band 1, a few rows behind the 1966 club lot.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
So it should be quite a banging.
Hang on. What's this? Sorry, what have I missed? Benrahma 8 to go. What's that all about?
So Fever put a 40-1 bet on that Benrahma would score 10 goals this season.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, real. Yeah, that's a good bet. No, that's a good bet. I don't care.
We didn't know. I don't think anyone knew.
Haven't heard anything about that one.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, no. Shut up. We should get him on to tell us about it. Straight up, man. I'll put the link in the comments.
Andy's done. Andy's out. Andy's actually finished.
Oh dear.
He's
been quiet. Okay.
We don't need any encouragement.
What diet's that can sort of like make his hamstrings feel better?
It's hamstring.
Don't train.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that he and Mark Noble are the only two that are basically not training every day.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, that's what David X said the other week.
Yeah, which is fair enough. But that comment, I don't know who. I think it might have been Gaza about the 45 million transfer kitty that was touched on TalkSport. I don't know if that's actually a direct thing from the club itself or not. If it is directly from the club, then I just think, oh my God, that's really, you don't want that sort of information to be in your competitor's hands, do you?
Jakey's in the building.
Jakey's in.
Afternoon, lads.
How are you doing?
I've lost track.
Forged takeover, #2 of the day.
I know they're taking over the world, dog. It's not high.
Jake, we are effing massive. We are effing massive.
I missed the first.
But we're anyone that's watching that is wondering who the hell we are and sort of like is wondering what Falls from Iron is. Do us all a favour. Just go to YouTube, put in Falls from Iron, and give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe. We're getting closer to 1,000 subs. We're getting there.
Slowly but surely, it's going up.
I'm just gonna do this stuff. Oh my God.
There's a bit of an echo. You got earphones, Jake?
Hang on, 2 secs.
Echo. Oh shit. I was going to take myself out the stream, but I don't know if I can take myself out the stream and put me back in. I'm sorry. Hold up, Jake. Oh, hello. Yeah. I'm here.
I say, don't let your phone go funny on us, because I heard what happened when you were streaming with Fever.
no, yes, I know. Yesterday, I called my network provider and got like X amount more data, but it was mad. Like I called and I said to them, I wanted more data, and they're like, "Well, okay, you could get this for so much money." So I was like, "All right." And he's like, "Yeah, just text this number and you'll get so much data for this much amount of money." So I said, "Great." But what he said, it didn't turn out quite true. So I called and I said, "Do you have any specials or promotions on?" Because they never tell you about the specials or promotions they have. You have to ask. So he said, no, we don't. So then I called back, talked to a lady, and said, I just talked to this guy. He told me I could get this much data for that much amount of money. What can you do? She's like, oh, we have some specials on. I said, are you playing? I said, I just asked the man if she had specials or promotions. He said no. She's like, no, I can give you X amount of data for free for the next 2 months. I was like, yes, please, we'll have some of that. So my phone shouldn't be going funny.
Excellent. Don't ask, don't get. That's my motto.
What's the message?
What's that?
I'm taking the piss, Pete. Sorry, I'm in one of them modes.
No.
Hey.
You know, go on. What's happening?
I said, what's the message? I wanted you to say it all over again.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening, dog. That ain't happening, dog. It ain't my fault. You got like death from like, being at the London Stadium yesterday. I'm jealous as thing still, man. How do you mean? Jake, what were you gonna say?
I believe it's a special day today, isn't it, Pete?
It certainly is. It's somebody's 19-year wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Like that's longer than you've been alive, man.
By 5 years.
I know.
I missed a game of football on that day as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You want the violin, dog? You want the violin?
How's Amelia, Jake? You'll be hitting 19 years soon.
all of a sudden, his internet signal's playing around.
Amanda.
That didn't take long, did it?
Oh, Joanna. Oh, Joanna.
There's no Joanna.
What you said it wasn't Amelia.
That was last week.
Now Daya came out and said it's Joanna. What is her name, dog?
There's no Joanna. There's no Joanna.
What is her name?
Quite a lot, that bloke, doesn't he?
I know.
As Duke sips on his Coke can, which has got something stronger in it, I can imagine, after being on West Ham brand for 32 minutes.
No, this is just Coke Zero, young man. Just Coke Zero.
Coke Zero, I like it.
Let me get fever on here, dog. Hold on. Keep on talking. I'm just going to do something.
Oh, here we go.
Lemon and lime.
I had a latte macchiato earlier, but it's all finished now.
Oh,
so I'm a latte macchiato.
I believe the
what the hell's a latte macchiato?
It's a latte. A latte macchiato.
Listen, I'm not where I come from. It's a latte.
Right, Gatesy, if we want to do it at 6, I better go. I've got at least an hour and a half's worth of work to do.
Mate.
So, if we 6 o'clock, yeah.
Was that okay with you, Duke?
Duke's in bits.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll be there.
Duke, love you.
I know you do. I'll see you soon. You escaped.
I love it. Mousy, out the building. Mousy's out the building. Mousy's out
Bye,
the
Jake.
building.
He's the only one at his place of work that does anything.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Peace out, A-Town.
Peace off.
Peace out. S Club 7.
Honestly, Duke, he's the only one at his place of work that does anything. It's a bit like you.
I was going to say, it sounds familiar. Yeah. It's no mess around. I haven't today, in fairness. I've been up here in my office all day doing the Facebook and Instagram stuff that Jakey so often likes on Instagram, didn't you, Jake?
Oh yeah, I see them every now and then.
Every now and then.
Promotions and
every single bloody one.
And challenges.
I can't even. Yes, the food challenges are nuts.
20% off on one day and this and that and the other.
Yep.
He knows the boy. Oh my word.
I can't even get there, and I shared them on Instagram like it's like 2 blocks away. Straight up.
I've just loaded up Instagram to check when when the new posts come out. And listen, I know we're at Villa now. I know she's at Villa. But Alicia Lehrman. Alicia Lehrman. Oh, my word.
There we go.
There's the boy. There's the boy. Fat boy Caesar.
Haven't you heard that I've got a 40-1 bet on? Haven't you heard yet, lads?
I heard something about a 40-1
and I'm going to earn everyone who use a lot of dough, mate. Don't you worry about that. I just want to let that out there.
What's it on, James? This has passed me by.
It's on the man that everyone thought wasn't all that good, but you know what I mean? Obviously,
I've got no idea who you're on about.
I know, mate. I know, but I'll move on from that. 4-0 last night was superb, mate. I got to admit, I got to eat humble pie on that one. I thought he was world class last night. I thought he was man of the match for me. He was top draw.
And that was with a bashed up leg.
Yeah.
That was a possible career ender if that had gone badly.
That was a really bad tackle, man. Yeah. That was leg breaking tackle things, man.
When I first saw it, I wasn't entirely sure in real time. I got to be honest.
Me too.
It happened so quick. But when I saw it sort of properly afterwards, I was like, "Geez, that is awful."
Oh, that was bad.
I want to ask something though, right? This morning, you Talk Sport. I don't know if you see it, but number one,
I heard.
Right,
I heard the 45 million something.
Yeah, we've only got 45 million. Yeah. That's the first thing I want to ask. And the second one is, what do you make of the fans last night at the ground?
Who wants to go first?
I said earlier, as far as the 45 million, if that is actually a direct quote from the club, I think that knowledge being out there to our competitors is bad news. Because it's like playing Texas Hold'em, and you might as well play with your whole cards exposed, because your opponent is going to know. Do you know what I mean? If they know what figure you're operating with, then they can sort of tailor their bargaining position accordingly. Bad news. Bad news. If that is accurate. As far as the crowd last night is concerned, absolutely superb. The only thing I want to see, because obviously, where we obviously had no supporters in the ground for the last season and a half, and there was all the chat about our West Ham doing so well because they haven't got the negativity around them and all the rest of it. So we need to put that one to bed. We need to recreate that atmosphere last night, game on game, for the rest of this season and beyond and beyond. Because the thing is, the thing has been said about it's a soulless bowl, and I agree at times that has been the case. It wasn't last night, so we've proved it can be turned into a cauldron of atmosphere, a place of intimidation for opposition fans if we, the supporters, get behind the team from minute 1 to minute 90. So we need to put that accusation to bed that the supporters in the ground, are a negative force to the team. We need to prove that actually last season wasn't because we wasn't in the ground, and we're actually going to drive them on, possibly even to higher targets. Who knows?
I agree, and I disagree with that statement. And I said it earlier on your channel, Jake, while I was on my meeting. As long as the fans stay with the players and get behind the players, the second they stop doing that, the second they get on the ball's pace and they turn, that whole atmosphere changes. And then the problem is that will affect the players. That will affect the whole layout of the rest of our season. So having the fans back in as long as we're supporting them, yes. The second we turn on the ball and we create a toxic atmosphere, we'd be better off not being there.
We got an echo again.
I know what everyone's saying about a toxic atmosphere, but you can voice your concerns towards ownership in a right manner. Like, I understand that people were saying about we've got to stay with the team. Every West Ham fan will stay with the team to the death, and it's what's built in us. The problem is with it is, this is what we was told when we left Upton Park. And I know me and Moulsey don't see eye to eye. I know he's got his views. He's very positive. He's very wants to go forward. But then there's some West Ham fans like myself who look at the other side of the coin and go, we could be a massive top 6 club, even though we've done it once. We've done it once this thing, but I want to see it this season. I want to see it next season. I want to see it the season after that, because that's what we've been promised. Do you know what I mean? And not go one step forward, 2 steps back. That's what I don't want to see at West Ham ever again. Just want to hear what your thoughts on that.
I agree with you 100%, because it was promised to us 11 years ago. We're getting the fruits of the labor now, but it's been 11 years later after a 5-year plan. So, yeah, no, it has to be consistent. There has to be some consistency, 100%.
And listen, I get what you're saying about the fans. You're right. We will always support the players that are on that pitch. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter whether if we're there to we're there to support the team. The second it goes, something happens. I'm promising you now, if we don't sign anyone, if this Zouma deal falls through or whatever happens, or we start to struggle, we will turn against that board, and we will turn against that board in the ground.
Yep.
And the problem is that will turn that will create a toxic environment within that stadium, and you can't tell me that it doesn't affect the players. And that's what you know. At the end of the day, listen, we've all been West Ham fans here all our lives, you know, and we've seen some really good seasons. Last season probably being the pinnacle of what I literally remember. I kind of have. You know, some jaded memories of 85, 86. So I have those jaded memories of 85, 86. And then obviously the last season at Upton Park was a good season, you know. But the last season for me was probably the best that I've witnessed. And so far this season, if we can carry this on, this season will be so as well. But the second that we start turning against the board within the ground, we're going to affect the players. Now, I'm all for protests before the game, protests after the game. I'm fully behind all of that. The second that you walk into the stadium, the second that you go to your seat, there cannot be any of that in the stadium. You have to be like last night. The atmosphere sounded absolutely amazing. It came through that TV like it, you know. It felt, it gave me goosebumps watching it, you know, and I've gone back and watched the whole game again this morning, and the noise, the cacophony of sound was unbelievable. So as long as we can, as fans, as long as we can produce that every game and get behind the team, and we deal with you know, the protests and the GSB out in other ways. You know what? There's no reason that we can't come out the other side of this.
What will be a acceptable window, in your opinion?
Striker right now. If they were to go out and get a centre back and a striker, and nothing else, as long as they were a striker that's going to push Antonio the whole way for that first team, and not just someone that's going to come in as backup. As long as we buy a centre-back, if it's Zouma, he comes in and he replaces Dawson. No disrespect to Dawson. I like Craig Dawson. I thought we had a cracking season last year. You know, couple of slips this season, 2 games in. But if Zouma comes in and replaces Dawson, we've got Areola there. For me, I know everyone's been banging on about someone to replace Souček and Rice. You can't replace Souček and Rice. So whatever you're getting there needs to be a backup. Backup.
I think Connor Coventry could come in there and do something this season.
Exactly what I was going to say. You know, with the things like the League Cup and the early rounds of the FA Cup, you know, certain games in Europe, Lanzini's proved that he can drop in there against the Premiership side. You know, it was Burnley. And let's be fair, whatever we play in Europe in the group stages, fingers crossed we find out on Friday, they're going to be a comparable to a Burnley side, because it's Europa League, you know. So Lanzini can slot in there. Noble will be able to play those games. So you've got Noble, you've got Lanzini, you've got Connor Coventry who can drop in. So you kind of a striker's needed. Someone that's going to push, like I say, push Antonio the whole way. A centre back for me is needed. I don't really want to disrupt Benrahma's productivity at the minute by bringing back in Lingard, although I've got a feeling he might come back. But for me, James, to answer your question, if we can get a centre back and a striker along with the Areola deal, I'd be quite happy. To be fair, I would be quite happy if they signed 2 between now and Tuesday.
Well said. Well said. Well said. For me, I'd like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but Zeltakar or Telsakar or however you say his name.
Zeltakar from Marseille.
Zeltakar. Yeah. Thank you, West Ham Online. Yeah. I'd like him because he's left-footed. He could play central and on the left, and we need backup for a center back. And me and James were talking yesterday. We need a left back. I'd love a striker. Sima might fit the bill. And yeah, that would. And then if we get Zuma and Lingard, if we get those 4, which I know is kind of punching above our weight, I'd be happy.
Yeah, but so the thing is, right? We should be aiming for these sort of players. When you look at the bench, don't look at the starting lineup. Look at the bench. We've got Yarmolenko on there, Fredericks on there, Ben Johnson on there. We've got a lot of defensive-minded players. I think our only attacker was Yarmolenko and Lanzini, I think, last night. So that's a major thing. If it ain't going well, we've got no way of changing it at all, like other than relying on players on the pitch. So that's what I think it is. I agree with what Jude was saying about a striker. I've been crying out for a striker for nigh on 7 months now, and it's getting.
Oh, James, you've been crying out for a striker since Tony, like at Brentford, like honestly. And
I just feel that in this window will decide where we're going to be heading. Like we've done well last night. I thought it was a great performance. I've got to admit, I thought every one of them players done a 10 out of 10 performance. But if we're going to progress into Europe and things like that, we need squad depth. And that is why Baptista's sitting on the bench. Because I actually feel if we don't get another player in for any reason, or that Baptista will come in because he's sitting on the bench and he's going to under 23 games and he's being viewed. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like
pushing up talks with Laborde. The Marseille striker. It looks like that's just come through.
Who's that?
Yeah. Gaëtan Laborde. Yeah. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
16 goals, 7 assists he got, didn't he, last season?
Yeah. Oh, and he's magic with his nut. He is magic with his nut. If it's diving headers or corners, he's top quality. And he's 2-footed, which every professional should be for the amount of money they get. They should all be 2-footed. And he is 2-footed and he has a magic nut on him, man.
Yeah. Euro Expert is a good European football channel and he does a lot of French football content. And he done a fact file on Laborde to West Ham and he rated it an 8 out of 10 transfer. Apparently he plays a little bit. I'm not saying he's on his level, but apparently he plays a bit like in the mould of Lukaku in terms of hold-up play and arriving into the box for tapping. So, he sounds.
Oh, like you mean the poor man's Antonio?
Yeah.
The 95 million pound poor man's Antonio.
Wow.
Bit of hamstrings.
Nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I'm trying to stay positive. I mean, I think we did a couple of videos. I've been on other channels and I've been asked the question as well about, what would you consider to be a successful season this year? And I think at the end of last season, I think I said if we can finish 10th and win a trophy, I'd have that. That for me, that'd be an acceptable season.
Definitely. Right
now, we are riding the crest of a wave that includes includes last season's kind of results are carrying on over this season. Everything seems to be rolling and we seem to be going. So right now, right now I'm beginning to think that I'm going to be pissed off if we finish outside the top 10. Outside the top 8 this season, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah,
and that includes if we bring home a cup. I'm not being funny. We have the ability in that team. I think Martin, Gary Neville or Carragher mentioned it last night, and they turned around and said this West Ham 11 can stand there and mix it up and go and play off the park. A lot of most of the teams in the Premiership on their day. I think we still struggle with the likes of, I think, Liverpool on a regular basis, City on a regular basis, maybe United with their signings and the way they've gone about things. But right now, I personally think we'll be able to mix it up with any of them. I'm not being funny. Leicester finished above us last season. We've beaten them now 3 times in a row. Spurs haven't made any great waves. I think we're better than Tottenham. They haven't made any great waves in the transfer window. I mean, they spent 40 odd million on a centre back. And again, this is the sort of money we need to be spending. As I said in our chat on WhatsApp the other day, boys. We're rumming and ahhing over 115, 120 grand for Zuma. That's the going rate for a player in the Premier League now. We can't get away with offering 45 grand anymore to someone that's going to come in. It's not going to work.
The only thing with that, though, Duke, is that it could upset the apple cart.
Yeah,
if you're offering 120 minutes to Zuma and Rice is sitting there, Cafal's sitting there, saying, "Why aren't we getting a
I make them right, James. They should be on that already, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
they should be on that already. Yeah. I mean, they need to stop dicking around with the Declan Rice situation and go, here's 150, 160, 175 grand, as far as I'm concerned, because the guy is worth it. He walks into any team in Europe, bar probably Munich, Real Madrid, and probably PSG. He makes every team better.
The only counterpoint I'm going to put to that, Duke, is that it was put out there that the contract offer that they made him the highest paid player at the club, and for reasons known best to Declan Rice, he's chosen not to sign it. Now, if Declan Rice is not going to sign the contract, then the reason that he's not the highest paid player at the club is because Declan Rice didn't sign the contract to make him the highest paid player at the club.
I'm not really obviously, because I think Rice could earn any money any time.
Oh yeah.
But the one that does me is Cafal. Ryan Fredericks is on 38 grand a week, and me and Gates spoke about this about a month ago on this platform. Yeah, and I turned around and said that Cafal must be worth his wages must have to be doubled. He's one of the best right backs in the league. You take Trent away, then I can't really see anyone else who's as good as Cafal at right back.
What's he earning now?
Cancelo?
What's he earning now, James?
Maybe, but Cancelo's playing a world-class team. Look what he's doing. Look what Cafal's doing. If you take anyone out of the top 4 right backs, so you got Man United's right back, you got Chelsea's right back.
Oh, I think he's better than Bissaka.
Yeah,
I believe he's better than Bissaka.
But James, what is he earning right now? Like 50 grand a week?
30K, I think.
30K a week he's earning. Yeah.
I mean, listen. We don't know what they've offered Declan Rice, and here's the kicker for me, Casey. You just said there that they've offered him a contract that says that he will become the highest paid player in West Ham. Yeah, but there might be a clause on that. His release clause is 175 million quid, and that's why he's not signed it.
Yeah, I mean, I said on where was it? One of the other streams, and I said I would have no problem with Declan Rice being made the highest paid player at the club, put him on a 5-year contract, whatever. But like they did with Jack Grealish, by all means, put a clause in there that says if a Champions League team comes in for you and puts down on the table an offer of X amount of pounds, and I would say £100 million would have to be the starting point. Now, whether you said 100 or 120 million, somewhere in and around that sort of bracket. But I would think a little bit further ahead, because at the moment, the world record for a transfer fee is £198 million for Neymar going from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain. So I would say, okay, if we say, let's say 120 million, we say that's the release clause. But if the world record during the term of your contract at West Ham goes up by X%, then that release clause increases by the same percentage amount.
From last night, Gatesy, you was there last night.
Yeah.
Would you say that Rice is unhappy at West Ham?
No.
No way.
No.
He didn't look it, mate.
Not on the basis of the performance last night.
No.
Not just based on that, though, Gatesy. You've got to look at the way he was in the goal celebrations, the way he was at full time. The guy that, for me, doesn't look unhappy. He looks like he's surrounded by his mates, enjoying his football. And you know what? He's got 3 years left on his contract. You know what? If he don't want to sign, don't fucking push the envelope right now. You haven't got to worry about it. Well,
it's really an extra season that we can activate,
Stop dicking around right now. Listen, let's not piss the guy off to a point that we badger him too much and he ends up going, no, fuck it, I don't want to sign. Listen, leave it for another 6-8 months. Yeah. Tell you what, Deck. Let's leave it for a bit, son. Obviously, we're getting nowhere. You know, we'll come back if we're still in charge. You know, David Sullivan turns around and goes, "Listen, if we're still in charge in 6 months' time, about we revisit it. Would that be happy for you? Let the boy just go out and enjoy his football. Let the boy go out and play."
Do you think he's ever turning around and saying like about the ambition of the club? He wants the club to be a progressive top 6 club year in, year out. He wants top class players at the club year in, year out. He wants decent signings at the club year in, year out. And maybe he's thinking to himself, you know what? I've got to do this to prove a point, to say I'm here. Because I honestly do say, right, ever since he's been captain, I love Mark Noble to death. I've grown up with Mark Noble, but ever since he's been captain, he's drove us into a new direction. He done it last season. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it this season. And I just think maybe he's looking at the ambition side of it and saying, right, you've got to step up, owners, and help the manager out, basically.
Yeah,
I think what's being said on Talk Sport, whatever you want to call it, is ridiculous because they're all saying that he's not worth 100 million, 60 million at best, and he's not happy at West Ham. Well, how do they know that? Like he looked as happy as a kid in a candy shop yesterday in celebrations, like Duke was saying. So I
think what it is, I think Declan Rice is happy at West Ham. I think he's looking at Mason Mount. He probably thought his best mate Mason Mount win the Champions League. And then he goes to West Ham. Obviously, he's happy. He likes everything here. He adores David Moyes. But he sees Golden Sullivan literally making no business, not trying to improve on our 6th place finish. And he's thinking, well, we might be okay for the next season or two because of what we've got. But where's the direction of the club? We're not going anywhere. In the long term, we won't go anywhere if we stick with his owners.
And that's not being negative. Like before anyone says, like, some people come across and say, "Oh, James, you come across as negative." That's where we should be. Like we're West Ham United Football Club. We're one of the biggest clubs in London for capacity. And that's where we should be aiming. We should be aiming for the top 6. Like, let's be honest. Last season we had one game, or maybe one win away from top 4, and that's how close we was. And I just feel that that's where we should be heading, because that's what we was promised. And that's where it goes back to the owners.
Listen, the owners ain't going to spend silly amounts of money. And the reason they're not going to spend silly amounts of money is because they don't want to, if I'm honest. So I've got a wasp in here. They don't want to spend the money because they don't know where it's going to be recouped from. And if they don't know where it's coming back from, they're not going to spend it. They're waiting to see if this PAI capital, they might spend 40 million, 25, 40 million in this window, knowing that, you know what, in 6 months' time, they ain't got to worry about it. The Areola deal has been done in a way that they haven't got to worry about the payout. If they've agreed, if it is a obligation to buy, they know that ain't coming out of their pocket in 12 months' time because they're hoping that they've sold up. They're hoping that they're gone in 6 months' time, 8 months' time, 12 months' time.
Do you think they're not worried? Do you think they're considering selling?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All day long. Listen, at the end of the day, I think we finally got through to it, mate. I really do think, and I don't know what the rest of you think. Let me know. I really think we finally got through to them, and I think they're done with the fans being on their back. Very much like
I
they
disagree.
were. Very much like they were at Birmingham.
I agree with
I
that.
think they're done.
I don't. I'm going to be the contrary voice. I don't believe that David Sullivan A wants to sell actively, or B, even if he was actively looking to sell, I believe all of the crap that's been sort of like whipped up because of, you know, a lot of it being out there in the public domain. And I know that Tony Cotty's come out since and said the only reason it's come out is because Sullivan said X, Y, Z. But Sullivan's on record and saying he will not sell to, quote, these people. So I don't see that he will. I've also got some fairly reliable information that says that West Ham is essentially David Sullivan's sole existence right now. That's his sole purpose in life is West Ham United Football Club. And
is that what's keeping him alive, Gatesy?
I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that without, and I think that's kind of the thing, is that, you know, without West Ham United in his life, what's he got? Do you know what I mean?
So
I don't see he's going to sell. I really don't see he's going to sell until at least 2023. And I think, who was it? I can't remember who said it. This might have been from Daya. It might have been from Gonzo. It's one or the other. Said that when the time comes that Sullivan does relinquish the reins, and as I say, I suspect it to be in 2023 or beyond, don't be surprised if he goes for Cardiff City Football Club.
Yeah, I think
really?
that was Daya. Is that like a situation, you know, because everyone's heard this probably before, where people come up to retirement, they stop working, then they start going backwards in life.
Deteriorating.
Because they've got nothing to focus on. I agree with that. But do you what would make him sell, in your opinion, in Gatesy?
Death.
No,
really?
No, I think
that's a bit extreme. I was expecting about 800 million.
I was thinking that as well.
I was not expecting him to come out with death, Grim Reaper.
But yeah, I think 800 million and he sells. I honestly do.
Yeah, I think they've already said or break. And I know this was pre-COVID, so they might have changed the sort of like the rules of engagement. But I do think 800 million, and I think he would go for But I realistically, I think he's put that price on it because I think he knows it's extremely unlikely that anyone will look at a Premier League club that doesn't have day-to-day control of the stadium that they are leasing. They don't even own the stadium. And you've got training facilities that are quite frankly sort of 1960s territory. I think he knows that despite the fact we're a London club and we're a Premier League club, realistically there's very little chance of someone coming in with that sort of dough.
Do you think he cares? Do you think he cares who he sells to though? Because a lot of people have said to me, look at what happened at Birmingham. Yeah, I agree with that 100,000%. A lot of people have said to me, he's going to consider who he sells to because he don't want to ruin he don't want to ruin what he's done, so to speak. I see he's already done that. He's already ruined what he's done. So I can see a bid coming in as long as they can match the funds. I think he'll be gone. Right, and I agree with what you say about that. Why did you disagree then, West Ham and
I just think that the abuse they get, especially David Sullivan, I think if a bid comes in for 800 million and he evaluates what he can get with the 800 million, the life that he's got, and although, as Gatesy said, West Ham is the core of his life, I think he'll look at it and think, for 800 million, the abuse isn't worth it. And let's be honest, it doesn't look like he's actively trying to make the people change their opinion on him. And
I agree with that.
He's just doing nothing.
I don't even think it's going to cost that, mate. I reckon he would probably walk if someone came in now, right now, and gave him the extra of what he'd lose based around, obviously, if he sells before a certain time, he has to pay X amount of percentage.
2023 super tax,
If someone comes in and agrees to pay that super tax, the extra cash back to the government for him, he'd walk at 400 or 500 million quid. All day long. If someone came in now with a bid of 400 million quid into his pocket, and offered to pay the 20%, which will probably be an extra 50, 60 million quid to the government. If they came in with a 400 million pound in his pocket and 60 million pound to the government in that tax, I'm telling you now, he'd sign that contract tomorrow and walk away, and he wouldn't give a.
But he's already turned down 500 million, though, dude.
Yeah, that's
but that's what I mean. That's probably without.
So that's 440 plus 60.
Yeah, but listen, he will take. I'll tell you now. All right, let's say 500.
So you're saying he'll take 560?
He'll take 560. He'll walk away with a call.
Do you think he's waiting for the stadium, though, Duke? Do you think he's waiting for the stadium?
No, mate, because I tell you now, these Muppets that are the way they've gone about this whole setup, PAI, whatever you want to fucking call them, I call them Muppets. How they've gone about it, right? Their idea is they keep banging on. They're going to come in. They're going to buy the stadium. They're going to knock it down. They're going to rebuild. They're going to do whatever they're going to do with it, right? We all know as fans that ain't happening. It ain't happening because it has to go out for, I can't think of the word, tender. That's the one. It has to go out for tender for other people to either bid on it, to buy it, or for it, like we did with the lease. Now, we'd already gone out. We'd already offered to buy it, but no one else wanted to buy it. But then it was found it was deemed illegal because it's a publicly owned company and, you know, whatever it was. So now what they're saying is they're going to come in, they're going to buy it, knock it down, rebuild it, turn it into a football stadium, encourage everyone that was around Upton Park to come back around, you know, the London Stadium, i.e., you know, the Rib Man and all the stalls, you know, Cassie's ICF stall, all the rest of it. Bring it all over.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to fucking happen, is it? Listen, we know it ain't going to happen because that's a publicly owned plot of land. You know, we own it as residents of the United Kingdom.
Are they trying to do the Manchester City model of like get the stadium and have all the surroundings as like attractions, so to speak?
I think so,
Listen, they ain't going to be able to do it. They ain't going to be able to do
I saw an article on that the other day, James, that they're trying to do a but not as good, but a version similar to what Man City have done.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Done. And that's where a lot of this is going back to the GSB thing. I know people say about you can't protest and all that and this and that, but what you just said there, Duke, right, about people's livelihoods. That's why a lot of the West Ham fans, a lot of the people that I know, are very abrupt with it and very negative towards them. Not the squad, not the manager. Them. It's because they've ruined a lot of people's lives. They've lost houses. They've lost businesses. They've lost marriages over it because they can't afford to pay their bills and they've had to split up and things like that. And when you start divulging into it, it shouldn't have happened. And that's the only reason why a lot of people with the GSB thing are negative, because there is nothing to be positive about from them.
Listen, I mean? I couldn't agree more with you there, mate. I think the unfortunate side of it is they, as a set of owners, they really didn't give two shits, did they? When they decided to move, there was absolutely no, there was no thought around what it was going to do to, you know, your local boozers, you know, the Central, the Denmark Arms,
even the Boleyn. But the Boleyn's had a makeover.
Mate, I'll tell you what, that looks nothing like it fucking did before.
I know. And I'll tell you what, if you go in there,
tell you what, they wouldn't welcome
make
us
sure you've got a few quid on you.
Yeah, they wouldn't welcome us, mate. Fucking hell.
I'll tell you what, fish and chips in there's about 18 quid or 15 quid or something.
But I'm telling you now, if giving up a chance, and honestly, he won't give a shit who he sells to, right? He won't give a shit. You've only got to look at what he did. Was it Carsten Young that he went in, and then Carsten Young ended up in Nick 6 months later, 8 months later, because of tax evasion or fraud or whatever it was in Thailand. So he don't give a shit. He sits there, both of them, and part of me, and I know, James, you made yourself clear on this last year. See, part of me feels slightly sorry for David Gold in all of this. Right. Listen, he's a geriatric old man, right? And first things first, let's get the old git off of Twitter because he ain't got a fucking clue. But he doesn't, I'm telling you now, he does not have day-to-day control over that club. He doesn't. I guarantee you, he gets a letter or a voice message from David Sullivan because he probably don't know how to use his phone or anything else. He'll get a message from David Sullivan saying, "DG, we're doing this," and he'll go, "Yeah, all right, yeah." He's at a point where he's
a minority shareholder, isn't he? He's got no power essentially.
He's at the point where he's Prince Philip in the relationship.
Yeah,
yes,
that's where I'm at now. David Sullivan holds all the power. Yeah,
or Prince Andrew.
But the only thing with that, Duke, and I'm not. Yeah, mate. Let's not go down that. Let's not go down that route. But
fuck off, Adam Johnson. Anyway,
right. The only thing I will say on that is I know you say about his age, but he was involved with them at the start. And
I don't disagree with you on that one. And he's got. I won't say he's got blood on his hands, but he's got to be
element of blame.
Oh yes, all day long. Yeah. All three of them have. But for me, right now, both of them bang on about being West Ham fans. I was born within the sounds. Fuck off, where you have absolutely no interest.
It's the same for these Pi Capital, though, Duke. They're claiming.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I don't disagree with you, mate. I don't disagree with you. All I want is someone to come in. Now, this might sound a bit selfish, a bit greedy, a bit, I want someone to come in that's got money that's going to take West Ham to the next level. Oh, listen, I'm 43 in a couple of months, and I've not seen us win a trophy. Now, I was 18 months.
Well, you have, Duke. You was 2 or 1 at the time.
I was 18 months old. Yeah,
you 18 months old. I've never seen us win anything.
Right? You were around when we won the Intertoto Cup. Behave yourself. Now,
mate, that one.
Listen, we won the Betway Cup back a couple of weeks ago, so you can't have it all in one way, right? So
right.
I want to see us win something. I want to have a memory as I get older and I end up where DG is now. I want that memory to say that I was there, I saw it. We've won the playoffs and they were amazing days winning the playoffs. I'm not going to lie. That game against Blackpool was outstanding. It's the feeling, the feeling of winning that, and all we did was win a place back in the Premier League where we should have fucking been in the first place. But the jubilation was there. So I want that from a trophy. So I want someone to come in, and if it's PAI and they prove their worth and they prove, money where their mouth is, and we move on to the next level and we win something, fucking amazing. Just get rid of these fucking.
So how do we go from the level we're at now, which is a good level? One thing I will say, we've got a standard at West Ham now where we don't stop running, don't stop trying, this sort of never say die attitude. What owners come in and change that and make us go to the next level? So what has there got to be? Investment?
It is. Of course, it's investment. It's investment in the training. It's investment in the training ground. I hate to use the word jealousy. I hate to use the word jealousy.
Envy.
But I'm jealous. Envy. I'm jealous of Spurs. I'm jealous of Spurs' training ground. Let's not fuck around here.
I'm jealous of Leicester's.
Leicester.
Yeah. I'm jealous of Fleetwood's. I'm jealous of Fleetwood's.
I'm jealous of Supreme Youths.
You've got. I'm jealous of Brentford's setup with regards to scouting.
I'm so jealous of Brentford Scouting Academy, man.
This is where we lack. So this is where we need to improve. We need a multi-million-pound, state-of-the-art training centre.
Yep.
Not the porter cabin that used to be the club shop outside Upton Park that's now been moved over to Rush Green. They're banging on about how Rush Green took us to the next level. Chadwell Heath was better. The only thing that's better about Rush Green is the training pitches. The pitches.
And the only reason why they're at Rush Green because there used to be a club over there called Forge United, and they folded and they went in there and took over the facilities, and all they've done is updated them to a small value. Yeah, man, and that's the only reason why they're there.
That's what we need. We need, and you know what? We do need investment in the playing in the playing squad.
Yes, we do.
We need more investment behind the scenes, as far as I'm concerned. We need, we probably need 5 or 6 players to bring that squad up to be one that can challenge on all fronts this season. We're not going to get that. But the main investment needs to be behind the scenes. It needs to be in a scouting network, not using fucking Football Manager and Jack Sullivan. We need a state-of-the-art training ground, not just for the first team, but for the youngsters.
Under
There needs to
23s
be
as
a
well,
multi-million-pound investment for the academy. Listen, Gatesy said it many times. You know, we come out, the players come out at a tunnel at both London Stadium and Upton Park, and they walk across the badge that ironically says the Academy of Football. Fuck is it anymore? It really isn't. That's a bullshit statement right there. We haven't been the Academy of Football since probably Carl and Carrick and Lampard came through. That's a misnomer now. That doesn't. We don't have an Academy of Football.
But has times changed though, Duke, with regards of academies? Because let's all go back to Man United. Let's go back to Man United years ago, the class of '92. That was a top class academy with players. Like you never see clubs bring out handfuls of academy players, so to speak.
No.
Right? Unless they're lower league clubs. Like you don't see Chelsea do it.
I think that's because gone are the days where lads stayed local. If you know what I mean. So you look at West Ham, and you know, all right, Carrick being the only exception, really. Joe Cole, you know, he grew up in and around West Ham. Collison grew up in and around West Ham, if my memory serves. Carrick we plucked from Wallsend Boys Club up in Newcastle. You know, the Ferdinands, they come out of Peckham, you know. So we're talking local boys at local clubs, you know. So nowadays, you know, Man United went and got Beckham and took him up. But for the most part now, you know, gone are the days where your youngsters from your local area are being scouted, James. We last season, and I know this for a fact because I've got some inside information on this. West Ham put out an advert internally within their coaches of the lower levels, asking for an unpaid local football scout to go voluntary to go watch local matches in and around East London to report back to West Ham on players that they think might be half decent. A freebie. They wanted that for free.
Yeah.
So gone are the days where they're going out and we're getting these youngsters out of school, bringing them straight into the academy, and basically giving them the best footballing education we can give them.
Or is it that money talks now? And me and Gatesy spoke about it, I think last season, where you've got you're giving 18-year-olds 5-10 grand a week, and they think they've already made it.
Yeah. You saw yesterday. I don't know if you saw yesterday, but there was a Everton left back called Thierry Small, who's Everton's youngest ever player. And he's joined Southampton when he had offers from Bayern Munich, Arsenal and all of that. And he's joined Southampton for a wage increase, basically. I don't know how that could happen, but Southampton have picked up 3 or 4 really good academy players in this.
But they're paying cash, aren't they?
Yeah.
Whereas I like Borussia Dortmund's outlook on this. I think Borussia Dortmund's outlook on this. I'm going to be quick because I think my battery's about to die on my laptop. Borussia Dortmund, you know, they got Bellingham at 16 because they see something in him, right? They didn't promise him a huge wage. They didn't promise him a massive signing on fee. He's on a relatively low wage considering what other players at these clubs are, yeah? He's on a less wage than what Birmingham offered him to stay at Birmingham. But what he's done is Borussia Dortmund promised them within the first 2 years of their contract that they will play up to, I think it's 18 first-team games in the Bundesliga. That's not including cups. That is 18. 30. It was. It's now 30, including all competitions now.
Okay.
So they are guaranteed 30 starts across the first 2 years of their contract. So Jude Bellingham knows he's going to get 12 cup starts and 18 guaranteed Bundesliga starts under his belt. and he will have played at least 30 games before his 18th birthday for Borussia Dortmund. Now, for me, that's the way of going about it. You develop players like that. You develop players, bring them through. Jadon Sancho was promised it, you know, and look at what he did. Erling Haaland was promised it when he moved to, you know, although he was already a world-class player, he was still promised that he would get those starts. Now, we always knew he was going to get more than that, but that's, for me, I think that's a great setup they've got going on there, because they can entice great youngsters into their midst without having to pay stupid amounts of money. Because if the players want to play, if the kids want to play football, they're not worried about the wage. And if they're not worried about the wage, then that's great. But if like you just said there, West Ham Online with the young lad in Southampton, he's gone there because of cash. He has no interest in developing himself as a footballer, none whatsoever. He wants the money now, and then if it don't work out, fuck it, I've got the cash.
Yeah, I do like what Chelsea have done with the deal to the other guy who's joined Southampton. I don't know if you heard about him. They sold Livramento to Southampton for $5 million, but they've put a $30 million buyback clause in. And although it's not ideal, I feel like that's
do them
a
favour. They won't have to keep spending money like they have been on former players coming back, and like Man United have been doing with former players. Like for me, like that £97 million on Lukaku, right? He was there a number of years ago. He was there a number of years ago. Pogba at United a number of years before they re-signed him. You know, they let these guys go. Chelsea let Lukaku go without giving him a chance.
28 million he went for.
You know, a real chance. You know, Man United let Pogba go without giving him a real chance. And then you're paying for it further down the line. You know, you look at players that Chelsea have let go in the last 10 years. You know, De Bruyne, Salah, Arjen Robben. Arjen Robben went back to Germany and absolutely tore that shit up. Cuadrado. Cuadrado, whatever.
You could even put Rice in there, couldn't you, really?
Yeah, you could, all day long. You know, and that's part of the reason that Chelsea's board didn't want to sanction the deal for Lampard to take him back, because they didn't want to lose face. Yet you've just spent £97 million on Lukaku. Like,
but I think with Lukaku though, Duke, you're guaranteed a 20-goal a year striker. That's the only thing with that. Like, he's going to score.
You say that. You say that.
28.
You say that, right? Antonio could guarantee us 20 goals a season, but his hamstrings are fucked. All it takes, right? Fornals' career could have been over last night because of that challenge. That could have snapped his leg. Tell me, you've just spent £97 million on Lukaku. He goes out on Saturday or Sunday against who are they playing? Liverpool, I think.
Liverpool, yeah.
Liverpool.
And Trent or Robertson mistime a challenge and completely shatter his leg. He's fucked. And they've just spent 97. All right, the insurance that's on it will end up getting, but that guarantee is now gone, isn't it? Nothing's guaranteed. As long as he stays fit, he's going to. He could get a career-ending injury. He could be walking down the road and fall over and hit his head, and he's in hospital, in a vegetative state. You know, you don't. This is the whole situation, isn't it? You know, you're spending this money, and you know, like you say, they're getting a great player. They're getting an outstanding player. They're getting a player that can score goals. But that might stop. That might stop tomorrow. You know that.
Because they paid that with Werner, didn't they? They paid £57 million for Werner, and they got people in the crowd shouting that.
But then when you play him out on the left or right wing, you deserve everything you get. He was one of the best strikers in the Bundesliga, one of the most consistent goal scorers in Europe. Where, you know, and then they go and fuck him up by putting him out on the wings. Makes no sense. Gents, my battery's about to go, so I've got to fly. Gates, I'll see you in about an hour once I've charged this bastard.
You will.
See you soon, boys. Peach, thank you.
Bye. Yes, big up yourself, too.
Take it easy.
Pleasure as always, mate.
If I look like I'm sort of a little bit preoccupied I am, I'm trying to get ready for our post-match, which is in 65 minutes. So I might have to fly myself in a minute.
What did you make of yesterday? What did you make of yesterday's performance against being there? You were shocked, were you? How well they played?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't shocked. No.
Me neither, man.
I think we have to be. We have to factor in the red card. Obviously, is a help to us and a hindrance to Leicester City. Would we have blown them away so easily, 11v11? No, very doubtful. I don't think so. I think that was a massive. I mean, it was a correct red card. I mean, I'm not saying it was a red card that shouldn't have been given. It absolutely was a shocking challenge, and one of the things that kind of frustrates me about that is that having seen it, and I appreciate that Kasper Schmeichel is the Leicester City captain, but the way he came out and was remonstrating with the referee, it's like, mate, for Christ's sake, it was a leg breaker. There are sometimes you have to, as a professional footballer, there's sometimes even if it's your teammate, you have to go, I can't defend that. I just
undefensible.
I saw Dom on West Ham Fan TV thought it was harsh, and I completely disagreed with him. I don't get how that's harsh. You could make the argument.
The only way that's harsh, I'll tell you the only reason why Dom, because I've met Dom, the only reason why it's possibly harsh is because he's pushed into, he's pushed by Cresswell and he's out of balance, but it's a red card.
Let me ask a question then. Okay, let me ask a question. I'll ask it to you first, James, then I'll bring it to West Ham Online and I'll ask Peach. Forget about intent, because there's nothing in the laws of association football that says anything about intent. James, that challenge, did he endanger the safety of Pablo Fornals, yes or no?
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah.
West Ham Online, yes or no?
Yeah.
Peach,
100%.
Yes or no?
100%.
It's got nothing to do with intent. You could have no intent or malice in it at all, but by your action, you shatter a player's leg, or you possibly could have done, then it's a red card. End of conversation.
It was just clumsy, wasn't it? It was just a clumsy.
It is.
Yeah, I don't believe there was any malice or intent to sort of like leave it on Fornals at all. No. But that's a complete. When people, I heard people sort of throwing out oh no, there wasn't any intent though, and that was the basis of their.
It's a stupid argument,
not being a red card. And I just looked and I went, you need to read the laws of the game, because nowhere in there does it say anything about intent as far as a red card is concerned. It's have you maintained safety of your opponent? Yes, you have. Right, you're walking. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually, the league that I play in, I actually had a similar challenge that I made last season that was a red card. And what you've got to learn from it is your leg should never be that high when you're running at a player. Your leg doesn't need to be a player in that direction.
Never.
So, and we're lucky that Fornals didn't get seriously injured there, or a leg break or something.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, a little push doesn't make your leg do that. Honestly, it was easily avoidable, so I don't get how you can argue against it. The force of it was malicious, in my opinion. I'm not saying he meant to do it, but it was a malicious sort of run that he made towards him, and you can't argue against it. I don't get how anyone argued with it.
But
I personally think, in my opinion, and I'll just get this one out there, in my opinion, when someone makes a challenge like that, I mean, I believe it's a 3-game for a straight red card. It's a 3-game ban. In my opinion, I think that needs to be a 5-game ban. And I don't care, like I say, I don't care that there's intent. I don't actually care, because I know some people would say, oh yeah, Pablo Fornals couldn't have been that badly injured. He carried on, he played the rest of the game, and he was arguably West Ham's man of the match. Completely irrelevant for me. For me, that should be a 5-game ban. No ifs, no buts.
It was bad. It was bad. But I'll tell you what was good. I don't know whether it was good or not. Was it Antonio's celebration? I just want to hear what you got to say about that, Rob, being there.
Say the last dance, Doug. How do you mean?
I couldn't believe it. I was watching it on the TV. I was like, what is he supposed to do? Is that dirty dancing he's trying to do there?
Yeah, it was a little bit of that. Mate, I love the geezer. I just wish that he was a couple of years younger, and I just wish that his hamstrings were more robust, because honestly, I think he could he could get triple figures as far as a Premier League goal scorer was concerned if he was say 25 and his hamstrings were in better shape, because he's just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I agree. Also, what I want to add to that, Gacy, is I was actually there as well, and I didn't actually see the celebration till the end of the game. I didn't actually see it. I couldn't see it. So at the end, I saw that he did that. I completely even forgot that it was the goal to take him to the top scorers chart. I was fuming when Leicester scored. I was like, no way are we going to bottom it against 10 men.
Yeah.
But
you know what though? Just to sort of end it with a positive, because I think the goal he scored to break the record was deserving. Like, if he would have scored a tap in, or it would have come off someone's leg or something and gone in the top corner, I think the way he took that goal was like a top class finish.
Oh, yeah, it was like Lukaku, wasn't it? The way he turned his defender.
I thought he was. And the problem we have now is like what Rob says. Yeah, the drop in class from Antonio to the next person to come in is massive, and that can't be. Like if he comes out for any reason, or he has a rest, or he has a week off, because it will happen in the season, we need someone to come in and do a job there. But I'll tell you another person who I thought was absolutely excellent, but he won't get no mention because he went on the score sheet, was Bowen. I thought Bowen was phenomenal last night.
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant as well. He makes so many good runs as well. You'll see from throw-ons, the guy who's always on the last man and running in behind is Jarrod Bowen, and he's just so scary to play against because he spreads defences really well.
Opens up space for other players, doesn't he, West Ham online? You know, with his runs.
I think the goals will
people don't realise that.
I thought he was very good last night, Bowen.
And I want to shout out,
chaps. I'm not being rude or anything. I've got to scoot because I've got a few things that I've got to sort out before we kick off at 6 o'clock. So, and if anybody that's watching is able to sort of pop over to Fulsham Iron, please join us. Getting involved in the chat. We'll probably go for hours and just bat it around. I mean, we've been chatting here for over an hour and a half. We're just scratching the surface. We're just warming up. So, and if any of you haven't already, please go onto the search bar on YouTube, type in Fulsham Iron West Ham United, click subscribe. You'll find us and join us at 6 o'clock. Peach, thanks for inviting me along, mate. I do appreciate it.
Gacy, it's your day. It's Princess Di's day. You have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful dinner, and happy anniversary, my friend.
All right, stay safe, boys. Take care.
Happy anniversary.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And then there was 4 or 3, because I don't know if I doubled up West Ham Online. Did I double you up, West Ham Online?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I thought so. So yeah, I got 2 black screens, and then I got a fever.
No, I just thought the back 4 was solid. I thought Cafal and Crystal played excellent.
Yeah.
I thought Fornals was that's the best performance I've ever seen Fornals in a West Ham shirt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously Ben Rama is Ben Rama, who I've always said that. And I thought Bowen was excellent last night. I really did.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one player. I don't think there's one player that had a bad game. Honestly.
No.
I thought it was me and James.
Oh.
Saying he rised above. He was one to be counted. So good on him, man.
Yeah. I want to shout out Creswell. I thought he's a player I criticise a lot.
Yeah.
And he was brilliant. I thought some of the ball. He looks much better when you're in the stadium. I will say that the balls, the way he shapes up the crosses is brilliant. And although I still have suspicions on him defensively, in a game like that, he's probably the perfect left back for that specific scenario.
So West Ham Online. Let me ask you this, man. If let's say we got a penalty last night, who's taking it?
For me, it's Ben Rama. He's got 100% record, 6 out of 6. So I think it should be him.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I hear to that. What about you, James?
Yeah, it's either him or Souček for me, mate. But I'll go for him all day. I just think he's a top player, mate. I know people keep on. I know I keep on about my bet. I keep on about Benrahma. Yeah,
no,
but
you don't, do you? No.
I don't, mate. I don't.
What
Honestly,
is the bet, James? Can you tell everyone what the bet is?
Yeah, we ain't heard. What is the bet again?
I was on Daya's show. And I was with Brownie, and basically we was all talking about betting. So I quickly slipped onto the West Ham odds on Sky Bet, and I found out 40-1 Benrahma to score 10 goals. And I put it on there, and I said, I said if he plays 30
How much
games,
money did you put on it?
50 quid.
Really?
So, yeah, I reckon. I reckon he does that no problem, mate. And I'm that confident this season. He scored 2 out of 2. I think he's getting better and better, and he's starting to finish now, which is good. So. And that's what I believe, mate. And everyone, people take the piss and say, "Oh, you bang on about it a bit too much, James." But it's because from last year to now, it's a completely different player. Completely different player, mate. And we used to have a lot of debates when I was doing things. Like, used to have what was it? Used to have Fornals or Benrahma. Which one would you have in the team? And personally, I'd have both of them in the team, mate. I thought Fornals was excellent last night.
Yeah,
I'm not Fornals' biggest fan. I don't see some of the things that some other people see, but last night I did see quite a lot, and I was quite impressed. So,
I think he's improving a lot. In his last 3 league games now, he has 3 goals and 2 assists, which, of course, it's only 3 games, but I feel like he's finally starting to add some end product to his game. He slipped in Benrahma and Antonio a couple times as well, and he's already created 6 chances this season, which is actually immense. So, I feel like I don't know about you, Peach, as well, but I feel like he's taking his game up another level.
Well, I think I agree with you. I think to tell you the truth, I think the whole team's kind of taking up the game. Like I see Benrahma taking up his game. I see Bone taking up his game. Fornals, Antonio, like I see a lot of them, and I think Lanzini in that deeper role. That's him taking up his game. Like, I see many of the players taking up their game this season. If I can be honest,
I feel like even Rice is improving.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is with Rice is ever since he's been captain, and let's all go back to when he was captain last season, he's changed the dynamic of West Ham. We're a forward-thinking team. Do you know what I mean? And as I said in the chat before, when it comes to Noble, you can't knock Noble because he's loyalty and his passion for the club, but there is also an issue where he will never be as good or ever was as good as Declan Rice. And I just look at Declan and I just think he pushes the team forward. And I know people say to me, "Oh, you're too negative, James. You're too negative. You're too this." And some people can be so positive that they're blinded by the light, basically. But you've got to be real, and that's all I try and be.
You're a realist. You're not negative. You're not negative.
I try and keep
you're a realist.
I try and keep it as real as possible and as basically black and white, because it shouldn't be no grey at the end of the day. And 100. When there is, you got to ask yourself why. So and that's what I've always believed, mate. Ever since he took the captain's armband, I always turned around and said that this man will drive us to the next level. Problem is, he can't do it. He can't do it on his own. That's the problem.
James for that. I feel like he's been brilliant. I feel like David Moyes is. I feel like the big thing with West Ham right now is the team spirit. I look at the team and I think we've got the best team spirit in the league, and you really do underestimate how much that can drive a team forward. And I think it's shown the most in the fact that we went from dropping points every week under Pellegrini to having one of the most points overturned in the league, despite us not being one of the best teams in the league. I feel like we've got a never say die spirit in us now, and I don't think it will end until Moyes goes.
No, you're right, and I saw this with. It's almost like what I like to call the Southgate effect, because I saw this in the World Cup with England in 2018.
Yeah.
And that team just had that camaraderie and that togetherness and that spirit. And we've almost duplicated that at West Ham, which is it's difficult to do for any team. Like I don't see Man City having that togetherness. I don't see Liverpool having that togetherness. I think you're right in what you say. Like we have the highest team spirit, I'd say, in the league, and that goes a far way. That's like a 12th man, just how the supporter is the 12th man.
Yeah, and it's especially difficult when nowadays you've got people coming from different countries, which means the language barrier, different cultures. Yet our players get along so well. Like Fornals and Antonio, there's a bit of a language barrier with Fornals' English not being perfect yet. But yet they seem like best friends. They're always going on bike rides every week, and it just seems like David Moyes has really turned it around.
It's when we signed Lingard in January, like I think Lingard has helped to this. If I can be honest, because when he came in January, everybody was a bit skeptical, and I knew that he'd bring that positive spirit, and he has done, and it stayed even with him not here right now. That positivity has stayed, and it's even got a bit more positive. And like I think he was the start of it. I think Moyes was the start of it. I think when Lingard scored and they were all playing the band instruments and like you know what I mean, like what would they call it, Backstreet Boys? Like
but it's listen. At the end of the day, there's being positive, right? And I will always be positive with the team. I want the team to win. I want the team to go to the next level. But when you've got owners who are penny pinching and basically robbing, then who is going to? If you're the only people who are going to be happy about that are people who have got an agenda and either getting money from it. Because you wouldn't just accept it, would you? You wouldn't accept. With this, I think it's a joke that we've only got 45 million. In my
I think that's a lie. I think that's a lie. If you ask me, I think that's a lie. I don't believe that.
Not really, though, Pete. We've sold Anderson, mate. We sold Anderson. We had Haller money.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've had a lot of money that we should be looking at a lot more than 45 million.
Yeah, but could 100%. You argue that? Could you argue? I see people making this Haller argument a lot, and I feel like, I'm not saying it for you, James, I feel like a lot of people are disregarding the actual fees that we put in. I feel like the Haller money actually was what went towards Benrahma.
But that's the Diangana money, though, isn't it, mate?
No, but I feel
we haven't even seen the Chicharito money, man. Like, yo.
Yeah, but you could argue. I'm not trying to be on their side, but you could argue that they put out more than they wanted to under Pellegrini, and now they're trying to recoup a bit.
But it's doing that. But then you can't say that you're going to be a big club or you're going to be a top 6, top 4 club, and then act like we're a mid-table club. If that makes sense, you've got to back it up with finances and resources at the end of the day. And when I look at it, the Diangana money paid for Benrahma. Like that's what it was. That's why we got Benrahma on a loan with an obligation to buy, because they was pouncing about with the loan deal. So the Haller money was there in January, 20 million. As everyone's telling me that we've only got 25 million to spend from all of that.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like not exactly gonna like what can you buy really in this window for 25 million other than a defender?
Yeah,
one player and get a loan deal. That's it. That's it.
I mean, I feel like what we're gonna do is we'll get Zuma, we'll get a striker, and they'll be like, right, how can we get an obligation to buy from the French league here? Because the French league, in a financial state,
dire.
Yeah. So
do you think Lingard signs?
No, I don't.
Go on.
If you had asked me a few days ago, I would have said yes, but I feel like we're steering away from him now, and I just feel like the club themselves are less confident than Lingard's representatives that this will happen. And I don't feel like they're as bothered about it as us fans.
Do you know what I can see happening on that? Right, and I can see Lingard getting offered a 1-year extension on his deal, and then us loaning him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I can see. I can see the Man United don't lose no value. He gets to play football, and he comes back to a club where he was adored last season. Do you know what I mean? So, because I think Man United won't want to give this geezer away for 10, 12 million. I really don't. He's an asset to them, and Man United don't really let people go for nothing other than Paul Pogba. Do you know what I mean? So, it's just it's one of them ones. I think that we need a striker in this club, in this window. We need a defender, and that's just to start with. Like, I definitely think we need a left back though. Like,
but James, we have apparently, like, Scott Veen, I think his name is, the chef. He said that he seems to be in the know with like ex-West Ham boy, and it's like he said we have a medical lined up tomorrow. Who is that player for? Is that for Zuma?
That's for Zuma, mate.
Okay.
That's for Zuma, 100%.
Yeah, do you know? I saw something funny earlier. I was going to say it when we was talking about Rush Green. There's rumours going around that Zuma's doing his medical in Paris, and everyone was like, "What's the point? Chelsea's in the same city as West Ham," and then people were saying it's so that he can sign before he changes his mind when he sees the training ground. So,
100%, mate. 100%. 100%.
Alfie.
100%,
mate. That's real. Oh my days! Like they like see what Moyes is doing. Moyes is building up from the back to the top. I get it. So why don't the owners do that? Build up from the back to the top, considering like training ground and facilities and that. And then, like, retractable seating and all that shit, it was a joke. Like, why don't they build up from the bottom to top, just like how Moyes is doing? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's really clueless, man.
Yeah, I'm on Team Peach for that one. I do agree.
100%. 100%. Because I went to Chadwell Heath, man, and Chadwell Heath is like, that's like night and day compared to Rush Green. Rush Green is like we have high schools here in Canada where they have portables, and it's like, yo, Rush Green's like a high school with like portables for classrooms rather than like a building for classrooms. Do you know what I mean? Like caravan things, man.
Yeah.
I just feel with regards to that, I think that basically this window is massive now. I'm looking at the team. The team's good. The team's played well. The team's performance was excellent. But let's have it right. And I don't want to be negative, but I'm being realistic. We go 1-0 up against Leicester. They get a man sent off. Right, we're massively in the control of that game. We go 2-0 up. They end up coming back to 2-1, and then eventually we see it out. We need squad depth, mate, and we can't keep relying on Craig Dawson.
We can't be Craig Dawson starting for us if we want to win the Europa League.
Well, he was 5th choice last season, and now he's 1st choice. So that to me says a lot. He was he come in ahead of Winston Reid, ahead of
Diop.
Who was it? Diop, Obona, Balbuena. Everyone, and all of a sudden now he's a starter. Don't get me wrong. Last night he played well, but in the grand scheme of things, he was top drawer.
Yeah, I keep seeing this, James, on Twitter. I saw people saying, Dawson proved everyone wrong last night. Did he? Because what we were saying is he did
what he was supposed to do. That's it. That's it.
He didn't prove anyone wrong because I'm sure us three here still had the same point that if we want to progress even higher, Craig Dawson can't be in the team. We're not saying he's immune from a good performance because he did have a really good spell at one point.
Yeah, but what people forget about, what people do forget about is the fact of basically they turn around and say, he had good performances, but they don't talk about his bad performances. And that's the thing that irritates me a little bit with people. People can sit there and go, he's done this, and this good, Well, let's all go back to Newcastle away last year where he got sent off, which arguably that was a game
that
yeah, and that's a game that we should be winning.
And we nearly won it anyway, didn't we, with 10 men?
That's what I'm saying. So, as a professional and an experienced footballer, you shouldn't be doing tackles like that and getting booked within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and James, United, when he scored the own goal, that one I thought he played well, and the own goal was, it can happen to anyone. The Arsenal one, however, they crossed it in, he literally booted it in his net. That one was just shocking defending as far as I'm concerned. And he was all over the place all game that day. He was marking like a dead cat. And that's what his best attribute is, defensive awareness. And I feel like even then he's a bit shaky at times. So that day against Arsenal for me was even worse than Newcastle. I thought he was unbelievably bad.
Yeah, to me, mate, if I'm honest, that's the weak link. I've always said that. I've said it from minute one. I said there's centre half, and there is also a left back that we need. Until we get them, we can't rely on Cresswell and all that to basically play near enough 50 games. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot, but I'm going to shoot anyway. Okay, I'll catch up again with you lads soon.
Same. See you later.
Take care, man. Take care.
See you later.
See, I go and then everybody leaves. Why'd everybody leave? Like I go and then everybody goes. I don't know what happened. Maybe their connection ran out, whatever. Okay, guys is in the building. The board needs to stop going on about 62,000 stadium, 100%, sir. I think Lingard will happen. I think he will happen. I think it'll be good for the team. I think he will even boost the morale and spirit that we already have in the squad, which is only going to be a positive. I agree with what Duke was saying about, if the supporters do carry the protests into the ground, I think it will be toxic on the players, on the spirit, on the morale. But I think it'll be a hard thing to break, if I'm being honest. But I see it affecting the spirit and the morale 100%. But I think Lingard coming back will be brilliant. I agree with what I think it was Gaza. Big up Fresh, yes, I you in the chat too, Doc. Always big up Gaza, disabled team, done know. But it's gonna be different this time, because when Lingard comes back in, he's not gonna walk into the team like he did before. Because now you got a Benrahma who's like same level as Lingard. If if not playing a bit better. Like he's on fire right now, man. He's if he walks into the team for anybody, like who's it gonna be? Like you're saying, would it be Fornals? No, we need him for his like all the dirty work that he does. He's taking guys, and then would it be Bowen? Like people are saying, well, Bowen's not doing that much, but then the people that watch football, see him creating space, see him running off the ball, see him getting in areas. Like when you're watching a football match and you're like, help him out, help him out, help him out. He's doing that. So, like, who do you drop? Because you can't drop Rice, you can't drop Souček. Bowen, Fornals, and Benrahma are going to be pretty hard to. He's going to have to win the shirt. Lingard's going to have to win the shirt, and I think that'll make him a better player. I think that's when you'll get to see the best out of somebody like Jay Lings. How do you do that? Does he do that? No, it's like that, isn't it? It's like that. Jay Lings. What? But I think you'll see a better Jay Lings if he has to fight for the shirt. Because it's almost like he came in, walked into the team, kept his shirt because he knew he had to play to a certain standard. But now you're going to see him come in and have to match a certain standard to even, get a shirt, to be on the pitch. So, and I think he'd be brilliant for Benrahma. Like, Jay Lings trains with the best of them. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I see, whatchamacallit, I see Jay Lings actually, brand new, mate. I was saying, I just saying, Tufty, how you doing, mate? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, man. I just was saying, if like Jay Lings, if he comes back to West Ham, I don't think he's going to walk straight into the team. And I think he's going to have to fight for his shirt. But I think that's when you'll see a better version of him because he's had to go on and do that.
Yeah, definitely. Jesse Lingard shouldn't walk straight back in the team. Benrahma played superb last night, so he should just he's earned the shirt now. So Jesse's got to come in and prove himself.
Yeah,
he doesn't just walk 100%. Straight back in.
100%. Yesterday, it was yesterday, wasn't it? It was the day before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Sunday. You did all the commentary. Excellent. Absolutely. Yeah. Blood clot excellent, dog. Honestly, you did yourself in, man. 3 matches. That must have been a busy day for you, big boy.
I think we had about like an hour break between, but they weren't really much of a break because I was doing other things for the other channel. So
it was like recess. It was like you were in school and you had to go off for recess and come back in.
Yeah,
come back in.
Jumped in one stream, jumped out the other stream, which is quite good. Doing 3 watch-alongs, good. Obviously, I'm not doing a watch-along tonight. I think Diaz having a night off tonight.
Oh, nice one.
I'm off to a non-league game tonight, Shields. So I'm off to Shields tonight. So I'm watch Shields.
Nice one, man. How's your weekend been, man?
Been good, yeah. Been good.
Yeah.
Been really good.
That was the result for us yesterday, wasn't it?
I know it was. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah. What do you think about that tackle that Fornals was involved in?
Well, that's a career-ending tackle, so I think Perez should never be playing football again because you don't tackle like that and get away with it. And VAR was right to send him off. The referee should have sent him off before VAR, but with VAR getting involved, the referee didn't know what he was doing. So I'm glad VAR got involved in that because sometimes they go with the referee's decision. But you see now, VAR gets involved more. I think involves better to get involved with these red cards than a referee decided.
Because but Tufty, what I don't understand is the ref was right there. he was right there, and he didn't like factor what just happened. Like, he had to hear from the VAR people, then go to the screen, then come back and deliver a red card, which he did. But it's a 3-ban match. That should, like, I agree with you. That should be like, he shouldn't be playing for the rest of the season. But it should at least be 5 matches, man.
Well, it'll go to a disciplinary panel now, I would hope. Because sometimes when the referee doesn't do it and VAR intervenes, it goes to a disciplinary panel. So he might get 6 games, but I would give him at least 7-game ban for the tackle.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know if you ever seen Anderson Silva in the UFC, but he did his leg in, and it looked almost like that, like the way Perez's foot was going in on him. It was too high. It was there was intent, like Tufty. There was intent there, no?
Oh, definitely intent.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's got if the referee thinks there wasn't intent, then he'll put it in his report. But with VAR intervening, they will be put in the report that VAR intervened and VAR sent him off, but the referee didn't. So it'll go to a disciplinary panel. The referee writes up his report, and then hopefully we find out that it's a red, and he's probably be given a 7-game ban. I don't know how the FA work really, unless they can give him they could give him a season ban. But if they give him a season ban, then I don't think there would have to be grounds. There would have to be severe grounds for a season ban.
Yeah, and they'd be setting a standard if that was to happen again. Then the next player, they'd have to get the season ban too.
Yeah. They would be setting a standard, definitely a standard. Yeah. The standard would mean if another player goes in like that again this weekend, he'd have to be sent off.
Yeah. 100%.
And plus with VAR, it has to be clear and obvious. So if it's a clear and obvious error.
Oh, what happened to him? His signal died. He'll come back. Nathan will come back. What a man. What a man. Tufty is such a legend, man. Love that boy, man. If you haven't heard his commentary on Day's show, you have to. Yo, there he is. There's the boy. There's the boy. There's the boy. There's the boy. Yeah, man. It's I agree 100. He needs to be. It shouldn't just be a slap on the wrist. It should be like that's some detention things. That's like 7 games at the least.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
7 games has to be. If it's not 7, then lower it to 5. But then you just know if Perez gets away with it and he just gets a 3-match ban, then he's going to do it again and again and again. We're always going to see in the Premier League is people fouling players like that. And if someone gets seriously hurt next time, then it's the FA that has to pay for it. Because the FA now need to look into this and go, well, why did the referee not send him off before VAR? What if VAR wasn't in the Premier League? What would they do then? Right, I'm going to go.
Back in effect. Just waiting for Tufty. It always happens with me, like right there, because I got to go down the stairs, the corridor there, and it's like I got my Wi-Fi on and my data, so it like kind of shuts off. You know what I mean? Just like 2 seconds. But we're back in effect. Hopefully Nathan comes back on, man. He has the knowledge of Knowledge of a king. It really does, man. We'll wait. We'll wait. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. Like Gaza, Disabled Team, Freshie, Tika Freshie. Yeah, Nate's back. Hold on 1 second. Tucky's in the build, my G.
Right.
Yo, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
It looks like similar weather, like to you, to me, like blue skies, man.
Yes, it is. It's blue skies here for a change.
So are you based in Tyneside, man?
Yeah, I'm based in Tyneside. Yeah.
Oh man, beautiful, man. That bridge is beautiful, man. I've been by the bridge, man. Your famous bridge, man. The iconic bridge, man.
The iconic bridge, yeah.
Tower of North England, dog. How do you mean?
I know.
Nah,
not normally blue beautiful. Sky here. It's not normally blue sky here, though. It's not normally blue sky here.
Oh no, I know. That's why my mother and father moved here, because it was always just gray, rainy days, and
the
depression rate must be like 120,000% up there, man. Like not just in North England, but like in England in general.
No, definitely.
Yeah, man. So you're shielding it tonight.
Yeah, I'm off to Shields tonight, because obviously I work for the football club, so now I'm rigged into going to every game.
Lovely.
For work,
lovely.
So yeah, gonna have a nice.
So I wanted to ask you this. Zuma. Do you think it's Zuma and Lingard? Do you think it's doable?
Yeah, I think it's doable, but whether the West Ham board make them both signings, Zuma's definitely done. Zuma's done. Well, I'm hearing Zuma's deal's done. Yeah, just waiting for his medicals tomorrow, according to the report. So his medicals tomorrow. So Zuma's done. That's done. That's through the door. Now you look at Kaletakar. Maybe you could get him in as well. I don't think they will pay for both centre backs, so I think you'll just get. Obviously, you've just got Zuma. Lingard, I think that could be either. That could be very tricky. That could be a very tricky deal.
How do you mean? Explain. How do you mean?
The tricky in that deal is that Manchester United won 30 million.
Yeah.
West Ham want to pay 15. Now that goes down. That'll go down. That'll go down to deadline day. That move. That could happen on deadline day. Definitely.
Yeah, you know what? I see that. I see that as well. If I'm being honest with you, I see that as well. I'd like the Carr guy, because he's left-footed and he's a central defender, and we need somebody for central backup, like for a center half, and we need somebody on the left, so he could maybe fill two roles. So I like that. I like Zuma. I like Lingard. Yeah, like that.
Then the big problem is you need a striker. So you need to look in the market for a striker. You need to go into a foreign league probably and go and get a striker.
Who would you suggest? Who would you if there's anybody that we've been linked with? Like I've heard Sima. I've heard who else, man? The Bayo or whatever. I've heard him. I've heard Carvalho from Fulham. Who do you think would fit the mold of somebody the West Ham need this season?
I think you need a target man. So like Antonio. I think you'll need someone like not a Kiefer Morph or such, but like a target man. So basically you could look in the Championship, or you could go to France. Now there's not a lot of strikers in France West Ham have been linked to. I think there's this I think it's the Marseille striker or the Lorient striker you were linked to. And you could get pay around £3 million for a French striker easy.
That would be magic, because I heard we're after that boy Gaetan Laborde, or Laborde, however you say his name. I heard we're after him, and he's good, but that's 15 mil. Like if what you're saying, because France is in dire straits right now due to their financial reasoning. So it's like, if we can get if we could get somebody for $3 million, we might be able to get 2 rather than 1 of the same quality and ilk. But I think that's a valid point, man.
Or you could go into Austria and go to Rapid Vienna and get their striker who you've been linked with. I forgot his name now.
What's his name, mate? What's his name?
Oh, begins with an E. We're talking about it on Dare's show just before. Oh, what's his name?
Begins with an A?
E.
E. No, it's not coming to me.
I'm sure the comments will know.
Is the Austrian league like? Is it as competitive as somewhere like the Bundesliga or even the French league?
It's like the Czech Republic league, like you got Souček and Kufal from.
All right.
So it's competitive. There's a few teams.
Yep.
Rapid Vienna. There's a few of us that'll do very well in that league, but you then need to work and nurture whoever you get there and say, well. We don't play him straight away. We'll put him as a backup. We'll play him in reserve games and get him up to Premier League match fitness. And then maybe when Antonio's injured or he's looking a bit tired, you bring him on like a second half sub, and then you bring him on and you see how he goes.
Yeah, I hear that.
You could even get Eddie and Nketiah. You could get Nketiah on loan from Arsenal.
Yeah. Familiar with him.
You could get him on loan. With an option to buy.
That would be right up our pathway, because we need, like, I know Day has gone on about Origi. If we could get Origi and Nketiah on loan, I'd be happier than a kid in a candy store, man, honestly.
Nketiah is all right, but obviously, yes, we'll talk about Origi. Origi's okay, but Origi has his faults. Now, if you really want to get Origi, you need to look into an option to buy. Now, an option to buy would be around about 15 million.
Yep.
Whether West Ham want to pay 15 million is another story next season. But you could. Yeah. You don't have to. You could get him on loan, not with an obligation, because if you get with an obligation, you've got to pay that 15 million. Get an option to buy.
Yeah. But it's like it's almost like where do you go? Do you invest 15 million in like a center half, or do you invest 15 million in a center forward?
Well, what I'm hearing is you've got 45 million transfer budget, 45 million. You spent 24 million euros on Zuma.
Okay.
So take that out of that. You're left with 20, 30 million?
Yeah.
About 20 million?
Yep.
So then 15 out of that, you've got 5 million left. Who are you going to get for 5 million? You can't, you pay Lingard, that's 15 million, right? You've got 5 million left to buy a strike.
Yep.
Who are you going to bring in for 5 million?
So basically, we get Zoom, we get Lingard. It's gonna be loan city. Like it's gonna have to be loan city, like you said, with the option or obligation to purchase at the end of the day. Yeah,
because you can get 2 English players on loan, and you can get 2 foreign players on loan. That's the rule. So your 2 foreign players should be your strikers, and your 2 English loans should be centre backs, I would say.
Yeah. And you see what Roberts just said. Chelsea seem to buy up players to stop other teams from buying them.
Yeah, they do.
They have so many players, and they just loan them out, and they've so you can't buy them. But it's mad.
They've got a lot of loans, Chelsea, and that's good if you're Chelsea. But if you're a West Ham and you've got that many loans. On loan, it doesn't work for the club. The finance, you're still paying their wages, obviously, 100%, and you need to look into the long run. How much are you willing to pay? Would you be
splitting their wages or paying all their wages, Tufty?
Like you could be paying half of their wages, or you could be paying full wages. The clubs abroad don't like paying full wages, so then you could be paying half. So it could be 40-60. They could be paying 40% and the other 50% could be paying 60.
Yeah. So you're basically getting a player for now, and then just paying like maybe 40 or 60% of their wages. So yeah, and that's what we'll have to do if Lingard and Zuma walk through the door. And what you said, it's almost a short shot. Zuma's going to be walking through the door after tomorrow.
Yeah, Zuma walks through the door. Lingard should happen. I'm not saying that's a definite yet, but should happen.
Yeah.
Because things can happen with Lingard. Anything can happen with Lingard. If that happens and Lingard signs, you still need a striker and you still need another centre back.
100%.
And maybe a centre mid.
I'm thinking. Well, I don't think so much centre mid. Tough, just because like we got Connor Coventry and Noble, and Lanzini. He's kind of training with them. Like when they train on the pitch, they all have their little circles and this and that. And it was Anton from. It used to be called Orange United. Now it's called West Ham Network. They were training at St. James. No, St. Andrews. Sorry, St. James is where you guys play. But no, St. Andrews. Yeah, he went to the training session at St. Andrews, and all the players training in the circles. Like Lanzi was training with like the Connor Coventries, Declan Rices, the Součeks. So I think centrally we're all right.
So Lanzini's going to be a centre mid then. So
left back, centre back, striker, and Lingard.
Yeah. So Lingard's going to be a set. So Lingard will obviously be a winger, but so you're putting Lanzini centre mid now because Lanzini's not a cam.
No way. No. He's a DM now. He's lying. He's playing Tufty. He's playing a lot deeper now. I think one, because of his Achilles injury, he was never the same player after that. Because you kind of always second guess yourself when you take off because of that. And he can be creative. He can go forward. He's more of an attacking-minded defensive midfielder. But we basically have three backups for Souček and Rice. The where we need backup is on the left back place because really we only have one. Arthur Masuaku is really a left winger. Ben Johnson's a right back. So yeah, we only have Cresswell really. So left back, center half. And more so, I'd like a center half with the left foot, so he could play on the left side if need be. And striker, and then Lingard playing in the open role. I think we'll be okay. Do I see it all happening?
Yeah.
It's asking for a lot, but if that happens, it could all work out, man.
Oh yeah, it could all work out. It could be the best thing that happens to West Ham if you obviously get Lingard and a few loans. The loans can help.
Yeah,
I'd get loans with option to buys in case they're quite good loans, and then if you get rid of them off loan and they want to obviously join the club, then get them an option to buy. Option to buy loans are the best things to use.
100
loans.
100%. Yeah. I fully agree with that.
So that's what you need to do: get an option to buy in the contract, and then obviously if they don't want to sign, then that's the player.
So you know how they normally have like at the start of the season, Tufty. They normally have like odds on for this manager to get the sack or walk or whatever. Do you think Bruce is in that conversation?
Arteta, Bruce, and Vieira will be in the conversation. Will be in that conversation.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Why did you say Vieira?
He hasn't got the players that he wants.
Yeah.
He wants to play attacking football, but all Palace can play is defensive football with the players they've got at the minute. They've been smashed. Well, they were smashed against Chelsea and Leicester, and at the weekend they drew 0-0 with Brentford. Now Brentford were a championship club last season. You should not be drawn against them. At least be getting it. At least winning that game.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? Because Vieira, if I'm not mistaken, he was the manager of, was it New York FC or New York Bulls, or they were in the MLS?
New York Bulls.
Yeah,
New York
I
Bulls.
think he had more options there than he does at Crystal Palace. Like I think at Palace, the only player that really kind of, I think there's two players that fit his mold, and that's Van Anderholt, I think his name is, and Zaha. So that's it.
Yeah, there's not many players that fit his mold at the minute, and they haven't got much money to spend, Palace, at the minute. So you're having to get players on the cheap, which don't always work.
Yeah, no, 100%, man, and it's kind of funny when you see these players who were such icons, legends, heroes in the eyes of supporters, and then they take up a management role and they're just not good at it. Like some are, some aren't. Like you had Mancini, whatever his name is. You had Shearer, who you know all about. I didn't think Shearer did too bad. What's your opinion on that?
What, Shearer as a manager?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get the funds, did he? Mike Ashley doesn't like giving managers funds.
No.
So if Shearer had a better chance in management, he would, with a better owner, he'd probably do well for a club, I think.
I tend to agree with you.
But Arteta's definitely gone after if he gets beat the next 4 games, definitely gone. Arsenal won't want to be in a relegation fight.
Like I see them getting relegated right now, Tofty. I see them getting relegated. Like I see them fighting for their lives, and that's not like Arsenal supporters aren't used to that. Like that's like the old Invincibles. Like they are not used to that, and whenever there's a guy who does the Arsenal thing. What's his name, man? Troops with his dad. He does like an Arsenal. He does an Arsenal show and this and that. And he can't stand him, and he's stuck by his word from time. And everybody else around him is like, "Oh, trust the process, trust the process." But it's like, what's the process?
When you don't know the process and it's trust the process. Now, would you rather drop in the Championship, and rebuild, or stay in the Premier League? Now, I'd rather stay in the Premier League.
No, you're right, man. Like it's you can only sing the song for so long about trust the process, trust the process. Like he was a good sideman to Guardiola, but I think anybody would be a good sideman to anybody who's manager at Manchester City, because they have players that like are the Harlem Globetrotters. So you could basically be a Muppet and manage their team, and if you're side by side with the Muppet that's managing them, it's gonna make you look good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It just seems that if Arteta does not improve and does not get the players gelling in the next 4 games, then he'll be gone. And he's only good as a second. He's only good as an assistant, Arteta. He's only good with Pep.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
If Pep was at Arsenal, Arsenal would be winning things.
Yep. And it's the same as what you just said. If Arteta was beside like Pep and Pep was running it, Arsenal be winning things. It's the same as if Arteta was beside Klopp at Liverpool, he'd be looking pretty. But for him to take on that role by himself and that responsibility, he's just not at that standard yet. He's not.
Well, a lower league. If he took over a Championship club, just say so, a Championship club, he'd probably do better with a Championship club than he's doing at the minute.
Oh, 100%. Yep, 100%. I fully agree with that. If a Championship club, maybe like a Championship club, maybe even a French club, but Championship more so. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Or Spain.
Yep.
Takes over a Spain club like Villarreal, like Emery's done, or Osasuna, or or a Real Sociedad, he'll probably do well there.
Yeah, but Osasuna, yeah, absolutely, man. Like,
I just don't know why he jumped in.
For somewhere like Arsenal, man.
No, I don't know why he jumped
like,
in.
I get it. He's like, sorry, but I get it. Like, he's Arsenal through and through because he played there, spent a load of time there. But that's not going to make you a good manager. Not at all. So I agree with what you're saying. It should be championship. And I think when he does get asked to leave Arsenal, I think you're right. I think he'll probably end up at somewhere like Fulham or, somewhere like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do, man. I really do. What you got planned for today, my friend?
Well, I'm off to the match in a minute, so I'll have to leave in a minute.
Oh, yeah, the Steelers. I forgot. We were talking about like 2 minutes ago. My memory is brilliant, isn't it? Listen. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Tofty, I think your commentary is the best. I like listening to you more than like the boys on Sky Sports, man. So keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, oh, I know you will, dog. You're only going to get better. Sky Sports is going to be ringing your phone this time next year, dog. I ain't even playing with you. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, I'll see you all soon, and I'll be doing a video. Well, I'll be doing a stream when I get in, so by 11:30 I'll do a stream.
What, tonight?
Yeah, I'll do a stream 11:30 tonight, yeah.
Okay, so that'll be around what? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That'll be 6 my time. What's tell the people your channel again?
Yeah, it's Tufty's Football TV, and we're on 189 subs. We need 100. We need 2 more subs, I think, for 200.
Love it.
Sub, so.
Love it. Tufty TV.
Yeah, Tufty's Football TV. Yeah.
Tufty's Football TV. Brilliant, man. Everybody go check that out because this man is a legend, a gentleman and a scholar. Okay, we'll leave it there. And thank you very much for coming on again, man. Big up the Geordies. Big up West Ham. Until next time.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
Okay, take it easy, mate.